Wham Bam fam, DT Dub fam, what's the deal, man? We got the one, the only GWC in the building. How you doing, my brother?
What up, though, my brother?
Right?
Big Stelly, Big Spooky ENT. What is going down, my brother?
I'm super geeked for this episode, guys.
Yes.
So you guys already know what the deal is. What's in the box? And I brought the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Tote Master.
The Tote Master, Turn Up Tuesday, going down with the underground sound. What up, though, you Butterball Biscuits? I think that you know, that I know, that Spooky knows, that it's go time if you didn't know time out there.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it. What up, though?
What's going on?
This is Tote time.
Tote time.
So it's morning time over here, so we're going to start. We're going to get our breakfast out, you know.
Please do.
Superstars wrestling trait. If you guys remember this Butterball Biscuit from 1991, you got Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado, and Hulk Hogan. So, you know, Saturday morning cartoons, my brother. Yeah. You'd get this out, and maybe you'd say, hey, I need some cereal with it. What goes better with it? With
my goodness.
Little Superstars Crunch out there.
There you go. With
WrestleMania 8, brother.
Okay.
WrestleMania 8. Now, let me ask you something. What, WrestleMania-wise, if you said WrestleMania 8, you see these Butterball Biscuits, who would you rock and roll with? You going with Hogan or you going with Warrior? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Right. Well, I'm honestly going with Hogan this round.
Okay.
I'm going with Hogan this round.
He's flexing on him, folks.
WrestleMania 8, though, I will tell you, I believe it started the streak with The Undertaker and Jake the Snake.
It did. I like this.
So,
you know what? You're talking about Jake the Snake. We'll finish off with this. You know, since we had breakfast, you might have. It's afternoon now.
Right.
You're watching Saturday Morning Superstars.
There we go.
You might as well get your Superstars oatmeal cookies out there, folks.
What better way?
What better way? It's going down with the underground sound.
We got it on the back here. Wow.
On the back. Take a trip down Nostalgia Boulevard.
I'm doing it.
Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant in the blue singlet, the navy blue.
Haven't seen that.
Honky Tonk Man, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake the Rockers.
Woo!
It's the son of a plum of dusty, baby. Trust me, Jake's coming through. Macho King and Ravishing Rick Rude.
Man.
So many legends aren't with us anymore.
I love it. Huh? No, I know. R.I.P. to the legends and the guys that paved the way.
Legends. You know what? It's wild when we sit back and we think about so many of these people that we've grown up with.
Right.
It's more than just watching wrestling on TV. It's something that we've it's part of our lives.
I was gonna say it's almost like family in a weird way. It really is.
It is like family, bro. And I look at these items and they take you down Nostalgia Boulevard. What do you got going on in the tote? We're talking nostalgia, folks.
We're talking, and you brought out the Saturday morning cartoon, so let me rock and roll with the Saturday night main event, baby.
Whoa, so folksies.
How are we doing with the Hasbro collection?
I love it.
With the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. Come on now.
Come on with it, you Hasbro heads out there. You know what? Hasbro is one of my favorite lines. I mean, I love LJN and Remco and Hasbro and Jack's Classic Superstars.
Of course, Jack's.
What was your first Hasbro figure, brother?
Man, I really can't put a name on it. It was probably one of these. I want to say maybe even a Papa Shango. Definitely Taker. You know, I still got my Hogan here. But yeah, I mean, Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers. You know what? It's wild that we talk about. When you talk about maybe, let's just call them the Commons, folks, call them the Commons. You talk about the Rockers, the Bushwhackers. You'd always see a Brutus popping up.
Of course.
You'd always see a $1 Million Man here and there, maybe a Rowdy Piper. It's wild when to this day, you could see, you know, Hasbro's, I still hunt them. If I see them out there, I'm going to grip them up.
I'm hunting them all day long.
I'm hunting them. To this day, you'll still see the Ultimate Warrior Gorilla Press will have the brown nose. Because the smudge, they call him Doo-Doo Nose Warrior.
Okay.
You'll see the broken fingers on the Doink the Clown or the Hogan Press.
It was the Hogan Press.
It takes you back, bro.
This one right here, I believe.
Yes. And look at he's 10 fingers looking casual.
You know it.
So we're staying on the Superstars line, and I want to piggyback off Hasbro with you.
Please do.
Something my mom taught me: you never bring an empty bag, an empty box to a party out there. You don't do it. Now, you were the man if you were going to school in 1991 out there, and you had this Butterball Biscuit hanging on your back. Okay?
Come on now, Road Warriors, let's go.
Come on, that's my favorite tag team of all time.
All right.
So, hey, the sound effects went. It did. There was a gold light that I saw, but we're talking Hasbro's. Once upon a time, you told me something. I got a good memory.
Yeah.
I got a good memory for having.
Being in the mix.
Being in the mix out there, folks.
There you go.
I got a lot that I get into wrestling-wise and all over the place from east to west, but I got a good memory with it. And once upon a time, you told me we were sitting talking at, maybe it was IWR, Insane Wrestling Revolution, or maybe it was Combat. One of these great, amazing wrestling shows that you were at and I was at together. And we're talking Hasbro's.
Yeah, we were.
You said something you didn't have in the collection. I don't know if you've got it since then. Maybe you have. Maybe you have, bro. But, I mean, I brought him from the museum for you, bro. Man, I wanted you to have him in the collection.
Appreciate that, man.
He's rocking and rolling.
This means a lot, bro. For real.
Love,
this is one of them figures right here next to Repo Man, too.
Is it?
That I had, and RIP to my brother Mikey, you know, because this guy put me on, you know, so I really appreciate you remembering that.
One love, man.
Awesome.
Hey, you know what? I was going through some stuff. It's about 2:30 a.m. this morning.
Okay.
I was shutting down the shows at the museum, about to head home. We're getting a couple things together for the tote. I saw him sitting on one of the shelves. I said, Skinner, you got to come out of the bayou. He's coming out of the bayou.
Coming out of the bayou. Come on now. I'm not trying to peek in there. Okay, all right.
What do you got coming out the box?
Okay, tit for tat. Here
tit for tat. What's going down? I'll keep digging out there.
I want a little machismo for you.
Wow. You know what? With the chain.
With the chain,
With
too.
the chain. All my Has brothers and sisters out there.
I just picked up the Ultimate Edition, too.
Did you?
I found it at Meijer.
All right.
I couldn't believe it.
I love the Ultimate Editions out there. I just got the Ultimate Edition Warrior last night. I scored at Walmart when I was digging up some of my ingredients for the pizza cook-off.
Oh, okay.
That's a
shout out Lane.
Shout out Lane's Pizza. I love the chains on here. You know what's an awesome deal?
Talk about it.
The graph, right when you picked it up, I looked and I saw the razors on the trunk. The razor on the back. A lot of times the graphics, they don't hold decal, up. The paint itself, they don't hold up. It's just something that happens, and then over time, this is the definition of this. Looked like it come right off card, bro.
Hey, you see where I got it though, right
it
here.
Looked like
good old bubble paper. You feel me?
Bubble trouble.
Razor Ramon was everything. With with the IC title, he had the charisma that just
big facts.
I mean, and him and Shawn Michaels. Come on, let's talk about it. WrestleMania 10, baby.
That is. When you talk about greatest matches ever in history,
absolutely,
many come up.
A real highlight reel.
I think Ricky Steamboat, Macho. I think always. This is just me, and there's never a right or wrong when it comes to wrestling. That's what I love about it. It's wrestling. We're fans out there. You can love every genre, every hit. Doesn't matter. Every time period. But what I love is WrestleMania 10. Talk about the ladder match.
Right.
They changed history.
Absolutely.
I was thinking how to word that. Defined history. They changed history.
It, yeah.
They really did. They put on a show in the squared circle that was amazing.
You see Andre and Hogan, you see Razor and Shawn.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's 100%. Rest in peace to the bad guy out there. One love to you.
R.I.P.
You know what? We are going tit for tat. You talked about Papa Shango. Did you have a Shango by chance?
Hey,
I don't know if you have a Shango tucked away Hasbro style.
Let's see. We do.
Oh, folksy.
Look at that paint job, though, too.
Wow, that is clean. Shout out to my brother Bear out there. It's a BSK GWC spooky situation station, but beware of voodoo. This is looking beautiful. The tattoos, folks. The tattoos you see always smudged or rubbed off. This looks great, brother.
Right.
And it hits you with the
good old punch with the sling back.
The good old 1-2 sling back. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback off this with Papa Shango. Since
all right.
We got Shango out.
Let's go.
We got our brother out. Tom Fleming. Now, Tom Fleming was a Marvel artist, also worked with WWF. And he did a lot of their ring-worn. He did ring-worn gear for Razor Ramon and Spark Plug Holly out there.
Bob Holly?
Bob Holly.
Yeah, Spark Plug.
Let's talk about it. But he did ring-worn gear for Adam Bomb. But one ring-worn gear that sticks out for me. He did the ring-worn. This is the original Papa Shango draft.
Wow.
Tom Fleming art piece, folks. That was the final draft of what Papa Shango should look like out there. I had him sign it when he came through the GWC Museum, one of our turn-ups here in Detroit.
Nice.
But
couldn't picture him any other way. I mean, look at this.
Isn't that wild, though? Hey, I love that it's so tattered up around the edges. Looks like an old map from Goonies or something.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Come on now.
Does it not?
We're looking for treasure here, baby.
We're looking for treasure, but I mean, it's
92.
It's a 92 situation station. We were talking about art earlier. We were talking about. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can I set this with you for
of
one?
Course.
You know what? We can set it between us.
Let's go.
Let's set it between us.
Let's go.
Actually. Because we're talking Papa Shango, and I want to bring out an item that's funky, and that's amazing in the same sense. This is Papa Shango ring-used, ring-worn face paint. This is what he would use out there to paint up as Papa Shango.
And the brushes.
And the brushes,
Come
you
on.
Butterball Biscuits. Bob Ross, one love to you. But, hey, check this out. We're talking about Jerry Lawler being such a great artist earlier.
Yes.
Jerry Lawler painted up Papa Shango quite a few times, but one time in particular is when Papa Shango came back. They were going to have him run as a second run as Papa Shango, and he looked even more wicked, didn't have a hat. Jerry Lawler painted him up. It was really wild. He got called into the office by Vince. Charles, we got something different for you tonight. You're going to be part of a nation of domination. And the rest was history. He goes on, hey, Kama Mustafa, and we would have never had the Godfather. Well, hey, you never know, but we may never have the Godfather if that didn't happen.
That's true, though. You know,
It's kinda
he took
wild out
on
there.
many faces after that.
Isn't, you know what?
So to speak.
So to speak, you know what I mean? Exactly out there.
Man,
but,
I love that. That's real history right
it's
there.
real history out there, folks. So get the paintbrushes ready. We're rocking and rolling.
We're painting skulls, baby.
What else you got going on over there, my brother?
So we got Repo Man. You know, I got a couple more, but I mean, Repo Man.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. You know,
Talk about it, brother.
a little bit about
Yes.
Demolition here.
Let's talk.
You know what I mean? So,
Big fan of Demolition.
tell the people if they don't know already.
All right, folks. If you don't know who Barry Dorsal is, we're talking about the one and only Repo Man. Maybe you might know him as Smash out there. Now, once upon a time, there was a group that would tell you they're going to kick your stinking teeth in because that's what they would do.
That's what they did.
Now, here come the Axe. Here come the Smasher, the Demolition, walking disaster. Then, fast forward down the line, he's stealing cars, and what's happening, bro?
He's repoing them, you know,
repoing
and
them.
it wasn't that long of a run for him. But I mean, growing up, again, I'm 4 or 5 years old when these gimmicks, these characters are coming out. This is that's what's attracting to me, you know. So I had all these backstory a little bit. I'm going to backtrack you here. Good friend of mine, Adam. Shout out to you, Adam. You know, he was moving, had to get rid of the collection.
Okay.
He calls up Spooky. He says, listen, you're the guy to take care of this. I know you're not going to resell them. You're going to hold them. For sure. And I said, listen, I had these when I was a kid. I'll gladly buy these boys off you. Met at Big Ben's Comics. Took them right off his hands. You know what I mean?
The rest is history.
Rest is history. And
I'm
still hunting them down, you know?
Still hunting them down.
I got the Skinner to add to the collection. Shout out to Skinner, man.
Hey, shout out to Skinner. It's wild when you think about these. First of all, I love the hunt. I love hunting the wild out there.
Yeah,
Something
absolutely.
The thrill of it. I've done it with my kids, with Miss GWC, myself, all over the place. It's an amazing thing when you dig up these treasures.
Right.
But you talk about gimmicks. I want to talk about gimmicks. There was a time period, the golden era. You got a voodoo doctor. Skinner, you're in the bayou.
Right.
You got a repo man that actually he repossesses cars. You don't realize that as a kid what a repo man is. He's got the tow hook.
Right,
He's got tires onto his trench coat. You got an Undertaker, for Christ's sake. I mean, he was not a zombie, but as close to being as you could get to
Dead man walking.
Now, we're talking Hasbros. I had to bring it out.
My.
Dead man walking.
Oh, my goodness.
Series 8 red card series.
Red card with the Toys R Us
With the Toys
stamp.
R Us. There is a wild story behind this Series 8
And the
Hasbro
trench
taker.
coat?
With the trench coat.
Please.
Spooky. You ready for the wild story behind this?
Tell me.
All right. My brother Bear, Godfather, best friends with Undertaker. BSK for life. They're brothers. All day out there. Undertaker sent this figure right here, this actual figure right here. Undertaker bought this at a Toys R Us and sent this, rest in peace, to Godfather's mom.
Wow.
She passed away about a year ago. Bear says, G-Dub, I got some things for you, bro. I got some things for you that my mom has saved for me 30 plus years in this box. I got some things tucked away I want you to have at your museum. This was one of those items.
I can't believe it.
Undertaker himself bought this. Can you imagine this? A Taker going into a Toys R Us, buying his own figure. Thank you. Have a nice day. And then he checks out, $4.99. So he pays.
That's what I'm looking at.
He pays $5.25. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Then he walks out after paying $5.
Right.
Sends this to Bear's mom, and she has it for all these years. You know. But it's
what condition though? I
great
mean,
condition, great fig. It's wild the prices of these nowadays.
I don't want to talk about it.
It is. I'm a big fan of obviously all wrestling collection.
Sure.
figs to autographs to lots of ring worn, everything in between. I mean, whether you want to talk about Razor Ramon toothpicks signed by Razor Ramon the bad guy, or
come on now.
we want to talk about Monday Night Raw cubes that were used on the microphones for Monday Night Raw. How many?
I thought Vince was holding that.
Vince may have held this at once upon a time.
Come on, Vinny Mac.
Actually, probably did hold this at once upon a time out there. But it's items like this that come rocking and rolling that, you know, it's they go up in value, and it's wild out there. Right. It really is wild. $5 turns into $700, $800, $1,000 nowadays.
Absolutely. One fig in particular, I can't really put a price on it, but I remember when King Kong Bundy passed away.
Right.
I go to eBay the next day, and his figure is through the roof. And I know for a fact it was probably about $20.
Sure.
You know, and it's just crazy how these figures fluctuate. You know what I mean?
It's wild. It's wild how the collecting game. We'll just call it the collecting game. Obviously, everything fluctuates in price.
Right.
When you start seeing wrestling going nose to nose price wise, and even surpassing stuff like Star Wars, that has always been. I'm talking price wise of collecting in the collecting world.
The Holy Grail.
It's always been. Now you got wrestling was going nose to nose and even surpassing it, and it's showing you where the fans are. It's wild because once upon a time we were the fans. We're still fans, but as kids, you know. And I'm blessed to call a lot of these legends my brothers that we watch growing up.
Right.
And I could call them brothers, and it's a beautiful thing. It's come full circle. But you think about it, and you go, yeah, you know what? That does make sense. Because, you know, in the 80s, we rock 80s and 90s, we rock and rolled watching them. Now we're adults in the 40s, whatever it may be, and we got our own money and house that we can, and we're buying these collections maybe that we didn't have. And it just kind of shows you where it goes out there. You know what I mean by that?
Completes the good piece of the puzzle right there.
Completes a good piece of the puzzle.
You were talking. Oh no! So
Bro,
that's
I just saw this down there. It's Attitude Era. Mike, so many people have talked on these things. Whether or not you're talking about this one, the Raw one. What were you going to say?
I was going to say you said 80s, 90s, and I saw the Jimmy Hart. So you want to pull that?
You know what? I was blessed to be part of history at WrestleMania 3, Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. 93,000 strong.
Right.
The body slam heard around the world. Lots was going down out there. But one thing that was definitely, it's beautiful, baby. It's beautiful. We're talking about my brother, the mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart, one of the most positive people I know out there.
Of course.
One of the most positive people. He sent me this a while back.
That's great condition, too. Because usually
is this not? Sorry, Mick. Have a nice day. Mick, we got you, brother.
Usually the fingers come off of them bad boys.
They do.
You know what I mean?
The paint gets rubbed off.
And this is in great condition, too. So this is.
I've taken a couple LJNs. My brother's knocked me out cold with the King Kong Bundy and a couple of the heavier ones.
George Animal Steel
so
was pretty.
That'll take you right on out. Folks, this is a WrestleMania 3. Ring-worn cummerbund by none other than Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Oh, wow.
With Jake the Snake, Alice Cooper, and obviously the Honky Tonk Man. Folks, this is a beautiful piece of history. He sent me this. He says, baby, I got something for you to put in your museum down there in Detroit, baby. It's beautiful. And I got this, some glasses. One love, Jimmy.
There we go.
But it's pieces like this that feel that nostalgia. Isn't that wildness?
Man, feels like home.
Feels like home.
Feels like home.
Feels like home, you butterball biscuits.
Man, I'm hearing the screams now.
Hey, talk about.
Let's go.
You need a haircut out there, folks.
Let's go.
We're cutting and strutting with Brother Brutai.
Woo!
The tapestries out there.
There
Look
we
at
go.
that. Hey, it's silk. And they said coming to America. That's beautiful. What is that, velvet? Hey, I like that out there.
That's silk. And it's got the nice logo at the bottom there.
1990. Actually, you know what? The 1990 is the Warrior one. This is 1989 on this.
Okay.
Look at this. This is dead stock. Brutus gave this to me out of his collection. This was never even basically seen the light of day.
I've never seen that before until now. So
It's casual. It's casual. He's got great penmanship, does he not?
Oh, he does.
Talk about great penmanship in the wrestling game. Okay.
All right.
And I'm not going to say this just because he's my brother, but Papa Shango, Godfather, one. Jerry the King Lawler.
Sure.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Who's some of your favorites? I mean, he's got a great sig. He's got a great auto.
I mean, I would say even Triple H and even Stone Cold, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember meeting them. I don't know if it was really like a Comic-Con, but it was at Ford Field. And,
yes.
No, excuse me. It was at Cobo Hall.
Kobo.
I met Shawn
Shout out to
Michaels,
Kobo.
you know, Stone Cold. I believe Kurt Angle was there too at one point, but
Yes.
that was around for like WrestleMania 23.
I like that.
Yeah,
that was a good time.
I was there.
I was there as well.
believe it.
WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. We got SummerSlam coming up
There we go.
this year, August. We're back home in Detroit. We're gonna see you out there,
Can't
folks.
wait, man. So,
It's go time if you didn't know time,
listen,
folks.
let's wrap it up here.
Sure.
I'm gonna do 2 more. I got 2 more left.
Yes,
We
I'm
can't-
excited, bro.
We can't. Actually, all right, I got a little free, but look, the
Wow.
Shawn Michaels. Let's talk about it. You know, with
I
the ring
love
attire,
that.
Shawn Michaels has always been a trendsetter.
Trendsetter.
And
I
you see
love
the
it.
tattoo on it too.
The
and-
tat is clean. The
They're
pants
clean.
are clean. I love this fig back in the day. I still love it now. This one, the silver and black one. I love them both. Something about the white and the red is just OG.
It just pops out.
It just
you know,
pops
with the
out.
gloves
there, folks.
on and all that.
The gloves. I'm not gonna.
Did they make an elite like this? Did they make?
They do have an elite like this. They have a ringside exclusive like this.
Okay.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
Actions are nice and tight. It's a
that's how you
beautiful
like 'em.
situation. Yes.
Let's talk about them. You know, we can't leave them out.
The cream rises to the top. We're talking about the goat of all goats, baby. My spirit animal himself. The one, the only. Macho Man, Macho King, Randy Savage. Good loaded, good loaded.
I just picked up the Macho King too, the
Did ya?
WrestleMania edition.
I love that. I love that. Macho Man was something more than just a legend in the ring and outside of the ring. He had it all. I mean, when you tie in the charisma,
Right.
the looks, the ability, the athleticism in the ring, in the squared circle. Then you get him outside the squared circle. I mean, the guy, you talk about the giving back to the kids and everybody, all the things he did over his career. It was amazing out there. And for somebody that was 6 foot tall, he carried himself like he was 7 foot in the ring.
Of course, you
big
know.
facts.
I was too young to appreciate the early '90s and that stuff. I seen them a little bit in WCW,
Sure.
But you know, I'm thankful for the A&E stuff and
Yes,
everything else, and of
yes.
course the network.
Yep.
You know, but I'm just like, man, this would have been my guy. You know,
For
growing
sure.
up, if I would have known, you know, if I was
100%.
a little older, this would have been my guy right here. Shout out to you, Randy.
One
R.I.P.
love. Hey, whether or not you rocked with him in his heel days as Macho King, amazing. His GOAT days as Macho Man Randy Savage, any
on.
way you slice that apple pie, he's the GOAT of all goats.
So you got one more thing to show us before you roll?
You know
on
what?
here?
You know what? I'll finish it off. I had all kinds of stuff going down. You know, we talked about Uncle Jake. We got into some kind of wildness out there. I wanted to leave this with you as well. I brought you a shirt.
Oh man, come on.
It's a GWC shirt on the front, okay?
I see it.
But the back was an event we did with Papa Shango. I did with them back in the Legends of Hamburg, PA,
Okay.
a couple years ago. So they're exclusive. So I wanted you to have this. But I figured Spooky, Papa Shango, it kind of ties
That's my
it together.
guy, you know.
Well, love,
I
my
really
brother.
appreciate that,
God
man,
bless
for
you.
real. Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you. And I guess we can finish it with this. We didn't really get into the toothpicks, but we can talk about. We can wrap it up with this.
The
man.
European Rampage.
European Rampage. What's your favorite wrestling video game?
I would have to say, honestly, the Royal Rumble for Sega Genesis,
Royal-
because that was like one of the first ones I popped in, you
I
know?
love that as well. I loved it all. Whether or not, I mean, you could go talk about WrestleFest and some of the arcade games out there.
the arcade ones.
Talk about some Nintendo, WrestleMania, or like you just said, on Genesis. Or if you want to go European, go overseas, you could talk about the European Rampage, bro. I'm going to tell you
Wow.
what. Look at, hey, you could be the Nasty Boys. You could be Earthquake and Typhoon or the Legion of Doom out there. It's go time if you didn't know time. One love out there. Hey,
Man, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, one love out there, folks. Keep it triple seat. I appreciate you having me. I love sharing the nostalgia, all the wrestling wildness with all the world out there.
Absolutely.
Tune into anything that we got going down. It's the GWC Big Spooky Situation Station out there, folks.
Man, so we appreciate it. GWC, this isn't going to be the last time.
No.
What's in the box? We got many series.
Mega Powers Handshake. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Good loading. Good loading.